Okay.
Good morning. We are Team Heart, and we're here to discuss the Simplex problem-solving project today. And I'm Kimberly Black.
George Fowler.
I'm Norman.
I'm Norman.
And I'm Lisa Renee.
And we're here to discuss the fuzzy situation, which we determined that Condi, they had a need for expansion and growth. We also felt that they should offer more products outside of the novelty products and the equipment, and that was very important. We also knew that we can help them achieve this goal by brainstorming and conversation. All right. So fact finding, we came up with that they lacked focus with their split in between house printing and selling equipment, and this was because they did one outside of the other one. We said if they combined them, that would really help. We also determined that we really didn't know a lot about their financial situation, so we couldn't really do anything as far as ideas, as far as how to help them financially build or what actual avenues financially they need to improve. Okay, and so we also didn't know what actually the company had tried to improve those things also. We also, our facts, we talked about it, we brainstormed, and we thought that we came up upon agreement with some important processes. So we came up with that Condi needed a wider customer base, increased revenue, they needed exposure and recognition, and they needed new avenues in order to utilize their current products, services, and their capacities.
All right. So after the fact-finding stage, we went to the how might we improve on the fuzzy situation. Here we came up with 4 statements. How might we increase exposure, generate new customers, build brand and brand recognition, and increase growth through partnerships. Out of those 4 statements, we believe increasing exposure was the most important, and we moved on with that. All right, so here we have the challenge map. Why should we increase exposure? It could increase revenue, increase the customer base, opportunities for new locations, and finally, form partnerships with other businesses. All right, so what's stopping us? Cost. Cost could be one. Lacking marketing knowledge and/or expertise, utilization of the social media, and the lack of brand recognition. So here, we went in more detail with our definition on the fuzzy situation. It is how might we increase exposure and brand recognition through a focused marketing effort driven by social media, trade marketing, and promotion. We had a long list of ideas. Here's just a few. For example, partnering with other well-known businesses. This could be Lowe's or Home Depot. Increasing social media posting. Partnering with on-campus clubs and organizations, and developing an app. All right, so out of that long list, we narrowed it down to 6 ideas that we thought were best. This includes brand ambassadors, rebranding and trademarking a distinct and recognizable insignia, partnering with universities or universities, partnering with a university or universities through exclusivity agreements, create a focus group, employee college intern, and temporary satellite locations. And these we moved on.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about how we evaluated and selected our solution for Condi systems. We made a list, an initial list that had about 8 criteria that we thought were important, and then we really honed in on 5 of them that we thought were the most important criteria for implementing this solution. When it came to the criteria that we chose, we ended up implementing the cost, time of implementation, return on investment, the barriers to entry, and the expertise required. And so we put those into the chart, and then we had a scale of 0 to 3, and then we did the inverse for the return on investment because we figured at the end of this chart, the solution would be shown with the lowest total. So that was our initial thought. So what we did was we put everything in, and we had our scale, and we came up with our totals. And as you can see through the chart, if it was the lowest, then you would have focus groups and college interns as the solution. We kind of sat around and we talked about that, and we decided that that's probably not what we want to do. We were looking for something that was going to have a little bit more of an impact on Condi systems than just hiring an intern or having a focus group. We thought that it would be something that we could present to them that would be more impactful to their bottom line. So we really started to look at the cost and the return on investment as the two main criteria that we wanted to focus on when choosing a solution. And so when we did that, the solution we selected was partnering with the university or universities through exclusivity agreements. And basically what we thought of there was by doing that, we could also implement many of the other things that we had come up before with the idea findings, so brand ambassadors and so forth, would tie into that solution. We also discussed the possible problems or issues that would arise with implementing this solution. And the two main issues we discussed were having the resources available to fulfill the agreement and the request of the universities, and also the logistical issues such as storing the materials, the finished products, and also the shipping and handling involved with doing this new enterprise. So the next step was how were we going to introduce this to somebody. And basically we identified the university officials as the main person or the main people that we really need to get this idea to get it rolling. And so what we did was we said we're going to present it to university officials. We're going to use networking and get new connections within the university, sponsor events such as in Greek events, also anything with the athletic administration or any other kind of event, business school too. And also providing free t-shirts and samples of products at these events so people can see what Condi Systems is all about, what they have to offer. We came up with a really cool idea using the t-shirt cannon at like basketball games to shoot the t-shirts up to people so they can see what kind of products we offer. And so the last thing we did at the start of the planning process was we started finding out which universities have already tried this. Has anybody tried this? Is anybody doing this? What can we learn from them? What kind of agreements do they have in place? What kind of discounts are they offering with these exclusivity agreements? And so that was the big thing, was just doing research and seeing how successful other people were in implementing this solution.
All right, so our plan was to start with researching what other companies had done and how they were successful and how they weren't successful. And then after that, we wanted to see which universities had these rights or have not had them yet. We wanted to branch out and network with different universities and get our name out there. Then we decided we could mail to universities certain products and promotions. And then we wanted to make sure we could actually handle everything that we were trying to offer to these universities. And we needed to negotiate contracts with which universities we narrowed down our decision to.
So as far as gaining acceptance, the people we would need to gain acceptance with would be the university we're trying to partner with and the clubs and organizations in the university that would need to have their products printed by us, that an exclusivity agreement would be worth it to them. And the university and its clubs and organizations will now have one central source for printed items, which solves a problem for them. The benefits would be discounted products, and we would offer a discount upfront with the exclusivity agreement contract. High quality and long-lasting products, which we could show through customer feedback and examples of our products. A centralized supplier and source of information, which we could connect by offering a contact list to any branch of the university that needs printing, so that if they have a question, if they want to know if we can print something, they know exactly who to contact. And we're a local vendor, which would be beneficial due to low or no shipping costs, and it would be easy for you to go and visit their offices and meet with them. Some of the objections the university or universities may have, not wanting to use sublimation or not being informed enough to choose to use sublimation. And that would be our opportunity to teach them about sublimation and sell them on it so they would want that exclusivity agreement. Already having a vendor or vendors in place. And of course, we wouldn't want to overtake that current contract, but once that ends, we could offer a better discount or better products to them. Not wanting an exclusivity agreement because it limits their options. In that case, we could just opt for a standard contract, for just certain things, or give that discount, but they can still work with other people. So as far as action, the steps we've proposed, as well as any other necessary action, could be implemented by Condi Systems to have an exclusivity agreement with one university or multiple universities. This will help them build a new customer base by exposing their products to every student at the university, as well as their visitors, faculty, and staff who see or use their merchandise. And if they printed their logo on their merchandise for the university, it would increase their brand exposure and make them a more well-known brand. And as George said, it would also be beneficial for us to include those top 2 choices that we had with college interns and brand ambassadors. So those are some lower cost things that we can help network within those universities and make the brand more well-known as well. That's all.